Hi Sagittarius, this is Amanda Nardozzi. This reading is going to be for April 15th to April 21st. We're just going to hop right in here. The spread that I'm using today is kind of a spread that I made up. It's a tree spread, so we're going to start with the root of the tree, what's at your core, what's at your base, things that need to be worked through, things that are currently being processed, and then we're going to go up the trunk. We're going to look at basically the way forward, the way that we're going to grow, and then the leaves are going to be our oracle cards, and it's going to talk about any extra messages, any hopes, blessings, surprises from the future, things like that, okay? So we're just going to dive right into here and see what comes through. Okay. You have Death, Justice, and the Knight of Cups. I don't know why this is like the season of passing, but it almost seems like for some of you, this is quite literally like I don't know why I'm getting like a legal battle. For some of you, it could be legalities in reference to physical death. Very rarely does death ever mean like an actual death, though in this case it might. But there is this energy with the death card. It's like being reborn. So stepping into something new. I am getting like some type of like a separation of a lover. So like you were married or something and there's like a divorce happening or whatever. And then like there's something in limbo, but with the Knight of Cups, there's like a new suitor in and there's like a desire to finish up this divorce or this split because somebody new has come in. It was lined up. It was synchronistic. It's a very harmonious relationship and not what you're used to, or like it's very fitting for you. Okay, so that's one particular message. Let me see if I can tune in and get like, because I'm getting something else with the Death card. It does feel like for a lot of you, it's renewal. You're stepping into a state of wanting to change your life for the better. And with Justice, there's Justice card of needing balance, and it's almost like you're needing to return to like some type of equilibrium or some type of homeostasis. Like there is something that's been out of whack, and either like I'm hearing like you've been real cranky lately, or it's like you've been kind of putting energy out and not really getting enough rest, or you haven't been feeding yourself properly, or there's something with the balance that's just been off. Because you've been giving too much of your time out, or something's been bleeding out, and then you haven't really been getting that type of the rest or the energy that you need. Now, the Knight of Cups, what this offers is hope. So it offers like a sense of, I'm hearing like playtime. I am getting like big romantic vibes from this thing though. I'm getting big romantic vibes from the Knight of Cups. So if you are looking for love, that is something that could be around the corner or on the horizon, but you do have to actively go out and look for it. The opportunity isn't just going to, sorry, I just like there are wild turkeys in my area, and this one just came flying out of nowhere. And for some of you, that might be how this person comes in, is they might just come flying out of nowhere. So not really like, going out and looking for it, but, I mean, just like being in a place like, you're not going to meet someone by staying at home. You know what I mean? So I will be forever in that camp. I know that's something that Chris Rex says all the time for Midopine Tarot, and I'm like, that is definitely something that I can get on board with, because Spirit can say all of the things and all of these amazing things can come in, but if you sit down and do nothing about it, you don't put the energy behind it, it's not going to happen. So just making yourself available, and the best way to manifest is being open to the opportunity of letting something or someone in. Okay? So not necessarily like waiting for something to happen or expecting it to happen or being very grumpy or upset or constantly on the lookout, but just being open and receptive and going out and having a good time and focusing on that, but allowing somebody to come to you and, entertaining it. And seeing if, you want to take this suitor or that suitor or something like that, So just keeping it open, keeping your options open. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm just, for a lot of you, I'm getting like a separation from somebody and then someone new coming in. That's all I'm saying. So like, I'm not getting like an ex returning type of thing. I will never tell you to go back to your ex. I will never encourage you to go back to your ex. They're your ex for a reason, and they can stay that way because they don't, it just energy mismatches. Why do we want them, right? Now how we're going to grow from this, so things to be worked through is going through that separation or transforming from a separation or transforming from like stepping into something new. And then also just like welcoming in this person or welcoming in, I'm really just getting a person. This is going to be a love reading for you, Sag. Sorry. I do feel like it's something fun. It's entertaining. You could be looking for something fun, but again, I'm just gonna stick with love because that's just what's coming through strong. For you also, so like for the trunk that's growing, you have the Nine of Swords, you have the Four of Pentacles, and you have the Ace of Cups. So again, new emotional beginning. Someone new can be coming in with the Ace of Cups. That is preparing yourself emotionally, so being ready for this new beginning. It's almost like you need to make sure that you are accepting people who are emotionally available. I'm getting like an issue of emotional unavailability here, and we're not here to entertain that. The Nine of Swords, so there's a lot of fears to work through about, oh, I don't want to be treated the same way that I was before. Honey, you're not going to, because you know the signs now. It's almost like you had the red flags waving in your face, and now because you've been through it again, I always say that even if things have gone round and around in a circle, and you've been greeted with the same type of person again and again, I believe that every time we are in those situations, our soul is getting more and more fed up with our decisions. And we are learning from those. And I say that in the most gentle and loving way possible, because I have also been in that situation where I've been dating the same type of people. And I'm just like, dang, like one day I just like, for some people it's sudden, some people it's more gradual, but you just get sick of entertaining certain things. And then there's like a period where you're like, okay, well, I'm better off alone. I'm over it. I'm better off alone. I'm not dealing with this anymore. And then you step into like, but then like, it's almost like you're stepping into like I don't know, you focus on building your empire, you focus on working on you and yourself and enjoying yourself, you start loving it, and that's typically when love comes along, and then you're like, fuck, that was not what I planned. Like, that's not, because I told myself I could be alone this whole time. So for some of you, that's not really like for some of you, that's not exactly what's being entertained right now by the universe. It almost seems like, again, it's like a separation or healing from a separation and somebody new coming in. So apply it how you see fit. But there are fears in the way, and those fears are not, like, they're valid, but, like, they're also just, like, the truth is not, I'm not saying, like, the truth is not valid, because it's not truth. Like, I guess I worded that kind of weird, but it's not the truth is what I want to say. I don't want to validate those fears because, like, it's okay that you have them. It's normal to have them, but they're false. Sorry. And it's because you've grown. You need to trust in your power. You need to trust in the being that you are becoming and that you have become through this transformation. You have the ability and the capability to say no. Trust yourself enough to be able to say no. Okay? The Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is about keeping resources close. Keeping your energy close. This is actually a card of saving money too. So for some of you, even if you're going out and you're trying to find someone, or you're going out and you're like, man, I don't want to like spend too much money. Go to places where you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can still meet people that way too. Or like when you're going out, if you want to meet someone like at a bar or a club or something, or like when you're going out to social functions where it's expected for you to spend money, maybe set like a budget and make sure that you're not spending as much. Because some of you are like, oh, I can't find anybody because I don't have money. Like, you don't need money to find someone. Just make yourself available and people will come into your life, right? Maybe not in the way that you expect, because spirit has to get creative, but it is what it is, right? But the Four of Pentacles is keeping your energy close, to keeping your material, keeping your finances close. I do feel like some of you are keeping your finances close, and that's okay. I'm getting, for whatever reason, like Starbucks. Starbucks is coming to mind, so maybe you've been spending a lot of money on Starbucks, and maybe it's something you have to cut back on. Haha. Which, whatever. Okay, that could be just a symbol for some of you too. Like, oh, like I am hearing like I need to save money though. But that being said, that does seem like a kind of off the wall thing. But as we're growing, you might be stepping into that phase of, okay, let me hang on to my money a little bit, because maybe some of you are dreaming of that future. You are dreaming of. I'm hearing like I'm dreaming of a wife. So some of you are dreaming of a wife. Some of you are dreaming of that husband or that special someone. And you might be like, okay, well, let me start taking steps. There are steps that I can take on my own to prepare for a family or a partner or for the life that I want. And I always recommend saving money, not to the point where you are starving yourself or to a point where you're penny pinching and like, being miserable because of it, but you're able to have like a healthy money thing that you can set aside for like a savings account if you were in a position to do so. And if some of you have to do that thing where you're putting $5 a month to savings rather than like the $100, $200 that you want to, a few $100s that you want to, that's fine. Do that, right? You also have the Ace of Cups, so new emotional beginning. So again, something new to breathe life into. We talked about that, like letting it in, welcoming it, and I'm getting, again, with this card, emotional availability. So focusing on people who are emotionally available. Because when I say that these challenges, like when you are going to keep meeting people, and some of them will be like the same type of person that you've dated before, and you will be faced with that choice. And what I'm saying is that the more you go through that energy, the more that you face that energy, the more fed up your soul becomes with that person, or with that, like, with dealing with those things, because the soul wants to speak its truth and stand up for itself. You want to do that, right? And when you get to that point, when you start recognizing those red flags, when you start meeting people and you're like, oh, I've seen this before, or I know where that's coming from, it's almost like you lose interest, or it's like you might be drawn to them in some way, but then it's almost like there's a disconnect, or something starts rubbing you the wrong way. And the more you meet these people, the more you go through this stuff, the more friction there will be to where you don't entertain it anymore and you don't look twice. And I do feel like you are at a point where, like, yes, there's fear there, but I do feel like you can be at a point where you don't have to look twice at people who don't share. I'm hearing people who don't share your same interests. That could be a red flag for some of you. Some of you might really care about finding someone that shares your same interests. For others of you, it really is just, again, emotional availability. That's really all they're saying. For a lot of you, you'll meet this person, community. So, and all the glitters and community. So with these two cards, community, like going out in your community and meeting people. So again, not sitting on your butt at home doing nothing, right? So entertaining your community and going out, and it's that way that Spirit is going to present you with opportunities. All that glitters. All that glitters is not everything as it seems. So, try not to take people for absolute face value, because especially like when we first meet someone, there could be some harsh criticisms running through our heads, or we might cancel out somebody completely. Try to open up. You don't have to know what you like, basically. Know what you like, and really try to look at the person that they are presenting themselves as. So, not the words, believe their actions over their words is what I'll say first and foremost. So trust your instincts too. So I found that when I met the person that was for me, I was always told actually by Spirit that, we ended up together. We've been dating for a few months, but I know he's my person. It's one of those things where it's like Spirit told me he was coming in before he came in. And I was told for several years by many different intuitive friends and healers and stuff that, I would be introduced to him by another friend, which is exactly what happened. But I was given a whole reading about it. I asked about my career, and she was like, actually, they want to talk about your love life. I'm like, what love life? They're like, the one that's coming in. And then it was this whole thing. It was this whole thing, and I had to be open to it. And basically Spirit was like, you need to go out and meet him. You need to go out and meet him, because you're not going to meet him if you're going to choose not to go out to certain places, and I was like, well, but I was drawn to those places for a reason. I was drawn on a specific day, specific time. You don't have to worry about that and whether you feel a certain way or not. It's just sometimes Spirit, just wherever you end up is where you end up, and Spirit will work with that. Okay. So that being said, you also have heart, home, compassion. It's funny because when I get this card, it quite literally means in the home, but it's almost like they're saying your compassion is seated in the heart. So see with compassion. Your compassion is seated in your heart, and you hold a lot of it. Try not to entertain people with sob stories that are their sob stories, because it's almost like this attraction to somebody who feels like they need saving, or there's an energy of oh, I can save them, or I can fix them, or I can help them. And again, that's an emotional unavailability thing. You're very compassionate. Spirit's keep that in check. Hold your compassion for yourself too. And I feel like your compassion has grown for yourself. So there are some things that you are just not meant to entertain anymore, and that is okay. You also have metamorphosis. Yes. I love this. You have metamorphosis and into the unknown. So metamorphosis, you are changing, you are evolving. This is a whole transformation you are going through, as we were just talking about. So it's you're stepping out of this death, which is transformation. So that lines up. And also stepping into the unknown. So it's almost like you're heading into this next phase of your life, blindfolded, not seeing, in the dark. And that's okay, because that's when the most beautiful things happen. It's that this card talks about being comfortable with uncertainty, because that's when the best blessings and the best magic can happen. So Spirit's rest assured. They're quite literally saying rest assured, because in the dark, or in this next phase where things are unknown, There will be blessings around the corner. Whoa, hello. Okay. So I'm not going to take these cards because a lot of them flew out and fell face down. But that one landed face up, so I grabbed that one. All right, so we have the Divine Physician, Archangel Raphael. So thank you, Raphael, for shining your divine light upon my healthy body. You also have Shine Your Light with Archangel Uriel. Thank you, Uriel, for helping me to share my light with the world. You have two of them, which talks about shining divine light in some type of capacity. And I do feel like this is Spirit saying, like, you know, you do need to shine your light. You need to go out, you need to be yourself, you need to shine. I'm hearing like your silly smile. Some of you might be conscious about your smile and you might want to hide it, or it's almost like you're afraid to be goofy, or you're afraid to go out there and just be completely and totally authentically you. And Spirit's like, that's the type of energy that your future person needs to see. That's the type of energy, not so they can be warned, okay, of how goofy or silly or crazy you are, no, or like whatever you are, but however you identify, that person needs to see it because they are drawn to that. The right person is drawn to you. So you need to show that and put that out and be comfortable and be like, you know, hey, this is what I'm doing. But it's through shining your light that you are healing. I do feel like some of you are healing the physical body. Some of you are quite literally separating from like a physically abusive relationship, I'm sensing. For some of you, you are also just quite literally just like you're getting centered and you're like, I am rebalancing my body, but I am also like, again, I'm hearing that nurturing the self, or needing to nurture yourself. But I do feel like this is a healing emotionally as well. This is like almost like repairing the threads. I'm getting like somebody who has like this netted thing, and then like it was ripped apart before, and now it's being like rethreaded back together so you feel whole again. And this, you all do that. You do that through shining your light. Okay. That being said, I'm going to roll the dice for you and see if there's anything else impertinent to share. You have 969. I'm pulling from Angel Numbers by Kyle Gray, and I'll always read these messages twice. Your soul is curating opportunities for you to experience powerful shifts at this time, as your energy is golden and aligned with the energies of divine alchemy and magic. One more time. Your soul is curating opportunities for you to experience powerful shifts at this time, as your energy is golden and aligned with energies of divine alchemy and magic. That being said, Sagittarius, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next week. Bye.